Hi, welcome back to my garden. My name is Steph, if you are new here, and I wanted to give a tour, a glimpse in what my garden is looking like right now at the end of April, because we are swiftly going into May, and my garden looks a lot, well, to me, it looks a lot different than from last month in March. So I wanted to give just kind of like an overview of all the different areas where I garden in, what I garden in, and what is everything looking like. I think it looks really pretty right now. And the next couple months it's gonna get a little bigger and a little crazy. And I'm already looking at some stuff that needs to be watered. Had to put a hat on. It's hot. It's been cold. It's been raining. And finally, we are getting the sun that I'm so used to here in California. So I'm going to start with my backyard. This is mostly where I have all of my tomatoes and my peppers. So we'll go over some because some things I'm just not really that thrilled. So here is an overview of our backyard. And well, from afar, from right here, they're looking great. I'm gonna tell you, they look good. But I have been dealing with some what is it called? Black spot. And I'm more of a I will make the plant bald. Like, oh, here's some right here. So I didn't have any of this, and I know it's a bacterial or fungal. I didn't deal with this. I maybe on some plants I did last year, and oh, it's like wilting on some. This one is honeycomb hybrid cherry. And I will be honest, I have not the best luck with hybrids. And so I'm not trying to blame the variety, of course. I always, it's me, I'm the gardener. But I just did not deal with any of that type of bacterial fungal so soon in the season or at all last year. And that one for sure. So I got my snippers, I got my alcohol swab spray, and I was just making her bald. I got rid of all the leaves. I've heard good things about the honeycomb cherry tomatoes, so I was trying to keep the plant, and she does have um some good already like trellises of these tomatoes. So she has a couple, like maybe 3 or 4 of those. Oh, she's producing, but I don't know if she's going to last the whole season. So I have started more. This is my 5-tier green stalk. I need to give it daily turnaround. And here I do have garlic still growing. I started placing in basil, pepper plants, all in here, dwarf size tomatoes with, I think I want to say everyone with has a basil with those. Some chamomile down here. I was thinking if I put it down below, it won't get the harsh sun, but I think that's not a go. This whole tier here is all strawberries. This will be my second year growing strawberries in a green stock. But yeah, so I'm very happy with these, how they're looking. That's green stock number 1. An overview of our backyard garden, which I'm very happy about right now. Things were getting a little, I was getting a little worried because the weather. I know it's like everyone's talking about how different the weather is, and I'm right there with you, but like different because we were getting a good amount of rain, and I live in California. We are the drought state, and we're always in a drought, and that's nothing new to us. But this year we got a good amount. Um, so a lot of things had to take, wasn't as thriving so fast that I was just what I remembered from last year. So I would think I was already getting tomatoes by April. By now, I was getting tomatoes, and that's not what's happening. Here is our shade garden area. I have one beautiful climbing rose. This one is my second year with this one. It's called Rolled. I'll put the name on here, but I got them from Heirloom Roses. I've gotten, I think, majority of my bare root roses from them, and I love them. This one, especially, it can take a little bit of shade, it said, so I thought it would be perfect climbing on this one back here because it does get some dample shade. It gets a lot of morning sun, and then it will get dample sun and then completely shaded out in the afternoon. But I just think she is beautiful. Also, I put one of these peachy, buttery nasturtiums with it. This one's a trailing, so I'm just bringing it up every time I see another runner. I'm just tying it up. The same thing with this nasturtium I am in love with. I love mauve colors. It just reminds me of like a really pretty lipstick that I would want. I love it. Mauve, I love. But yeah, I'll have to find, and I think I got this one from Baker's Creek. And what I do when, especially with the trailing, they're not, some of them will start climbing on their own, but for the most part, you will need to tie them up or, help them loosen up, wrap around. So it did get a little damaged yesterday when we were cutting back some of the branches, so she got a little hurt, but I love this color. I'll have to find the name and put it on there if anyone's interested, but definitely in the shade it's giving this like muted color, almost like a vintage mauve. I I don't know if that's like even a real color. It's so pretty. And what I do with nasturtiums, I know this might sound, you don't have to do much with them, but I do, if there's leaves tattered, I do prune my nasturtiums because I do like volunteer nasturtiums, and I did save some seeds already from this one, but all I will do is take off the dead, you know, the flowers that have already bloomed and they're spent, and then I will collect the seed. Either I will collect them, let them dry out, or I will just put them right back down here for next time. Because I love this one. I don't mind having uh, this whole arch be covered in that one because it's gorge. And then I also have this one here is Sunset Runner Bean. I don't think we're gonna eat the beans on this one. This one is just, gardens are to provide, but they're here to provide what you're needing. So if it is something just for beauty, that's okay too. I do have some garlic thrown out in these beds. One, because of pests, we have some critters, and secondly, I had no other areas for them, so they are throughout each bed. This beautiful foxglove I seeded last, uh, I want to say probably in the fall, and she was in full sun, so I had to move her over here, and now she just bloomed. She's probably not going to last here in the summer because now we are warming up, but I am completely leaving her alone. Whatever, if she wants to self seed, absolutely. It was a mix, so I don't even know, and I don't even have the package. So whatever she wants to do, she's the queen because I love foxglove. I know they are poisonous, so if you do have cats, doggies, little I don't know, anyone that's going to be, I don't want to say little kids, but if you have anyone that would be possibly in your garden, just thinking that, oh, here's a nasturtium, I can eat that, and then thinking they can eat another flower. So I don't know how that works, but these are poisonous if you do eat them. I believe even the seeds are too. So just be careful. But I'm aware of that, and so is my husband. For lemon tree, I need to spray. She's not too bad. I'm just seeing a lot of, I don't want to say diseases, but I'm seeing some, concerns on some of the plants sooner than I would in the further we are into the season. So I don't know if anyone can relate, but I'm seeing, I saw aphids a lot sooner this year. I'm also seeing like the black spot on tomatoes. I'm seeing that sooner than I did last year. Well, I didn't really see black spots on my tomatoes, but I'm seeing a lot of that now. Here is my in-ground garden flower bed. I have some perennials, but mostly these are annuals. Some of them did self-seed themselves. I have this sunflower. I believe the birds helped me plant because I don't remember planting that there. I do have some yarrow that I started from seed last year that is coming back. Borage, I think we all know borage. He's a plant that does like to self-seed himself as well. So that's what that one is. I have a couple, well, these were to be hanging baskets, and I just realized on the side of my greenhouse was looking a little bare, so I did planted them up and then just put them against the greenhouse, which I think this is like the perfect height, so I can still see, and they're not getting too overly into our walkway. But I have a few of different straw flower, um, Ami, I think, yeah, Dara, also chamomile. This is all salvia that came back for me from last year. Also, some gladiolas, which those are looking a lot better than the ones that I have in that first bed. So, you just never know where plants want to go. That's where they want to go. This yarrow I planted from seed last year, which I love, especially because it fades into different colors, like fading into its own color. And then right here, when it starts fading out, has all, I just, yarrow is beautiful, especially like the more you cut back, the more, I will say, if you don't have the space, like myself, I'm very limited here. You do want to make sure that you are cutting it back because it will spread. And I just, took some of those roots and plant them throughout my garden. So if you can't do that, and you don't have the space, maybe you can always compost them, but you can always, try to give them away to others, or if you have any plant friends, plant family members, because yarrow, she's a plant that will keep coming back and also multiplying. Some things are looking a little bit sad because I do need water. I was just letting things dry out just because we had gotten a good amount of rain, and I was seeing some powdery mildew, and I was already seeing black spots on my tomatoes, and that's a hard no. So I did let everything have a break, but I have some zinnias down here, some larkspur, I think, oh yeah, scabiosa, diantha, well, sweet William. In these white pot containers, I have a container variety mixed blend of dahlias, and then also some alliums that didn't pop up yet. It's probably going to be too hot for them to pop up. So I might need to just take those bulbs out because they should have already, all the other ones had bloomed, but these look like they're just providing leaves. Here is right in front of my greenhouse, and this is my second green stalk. It's just the three tiers, which I'm about 5'4". This is perfect for me. If anyone, anyone is taller than that, maybe the 5 tier is great for you. But I'm thinking the next one I do get might be another 3 tier, so much easier when it's this height. But in here, I have a mix of, they're all dwarf tomatoes, but different varieties. I have some peppers, I have shishito, marigolds, um, emerald flame, ahi, mango pepper, basil, a white inferno, let's see, limelight dwarf, see. Oh yeah, this middle tier is all ahi mango. I'm hopeful that we like that one. As I have like 3 plants of it, which might not sound like a lot, but in my garden I usually just have like a couple. But this year I went a little bit, um, having a couple of each one, so then we can actually have a good harvest. Oh, and this is my beloved habanada pepper. We love, well, me and my husband loved habanada. It doesn't have the spice, but it has that habanero like smokiness. Very good. Here is the wooden raised bed right in front of, don't mind my friend, these are to protect my seedlings. But here is my second wooden raised bed. I want to say probably the same order. I do have some Tulsi basil. I direct sowed some dragon tongue bean. Those haven't come up yet. I direct sowed some dill. I do overpack. So if you are seeing like, wow, like what is she doing? That's a lot of stuff in there. Yes, yes it is. My idea is that eventually I'll be taking these onions out. So then that will give room. These onions on the side here, I know some people do grow. Oh, here is my squirrel friend or arch nemesis, but I don't know we would want to call him. He a little bugger. He does a lot of damage over here. I'm gonna tell you that much. He eat my strawberries too. So here I I do overplant, but when I overplant is some things that I'm just doing for companion planting to kind of combat the pests. So like the deal, even if it does mature and then but it goes to flower, I'm fine with that. That can still provide something for the pest or the good bugs. Here, which I am so happy, I already have a small pepper. This one is the candy cane chocolate bell pepper, and I have a few more flowers on there. So excited. One of my ground cherries. I think I need to fertilize. I don't know if it's coming up on camera, but she's looking very yellow mellow. Uh, let's see. This, yeah, I'm seeing a lot of flowers on this bed, just not any fruit yet. This in the center here is a Little Fingers eggplant. Oh, and I am seeing a little germination of that dragon tongue bean. So here is the second wooden raised bed. And then I do plant in small containers. This barrel here has a good amount of stuff. It has eggplant in the middle, basil in the front, and then behind. Also a pepper plant, well, two of them on each side. I have Mumex lemon spice, and this one is a sweet banana pepper, which last year we got, I think we had about 4 of those plants and we had an abundance. So I only have 2 in the garden, I think, this year. Here is, well, this one is getting, these are getting a little big. Well, and I do need to cut back some of these. So I am probably going to move just for the airflow of it all. I think I might move this center small guy to a different part of my garden, maybe the side yard, just so then there's more airflow back here. I do need to, I'm one to trim back some of the leaves for determinate and um, dwarf tomatoes. By pruning, you can limit the amount of harvest you get. I try to get only the sun leaves. Well, yeah, I don't know if that's the actual scientific name, but so like this one. This one is a chocolate lightning dwarf. I have beautiful flowers up top, beautiful, but down here I did already trim off some of the bigger leaves. So right here this leaf is, sun leaf. And then in the middle of that is where there's going to be a flower and produce. So right in the corner of that V or that L, in that center, that's where the flower will produce. So if you are, pruning a determinate or a dwarf size, tomato, just, you want to just be mindful that you're not pruning so much because they are only destined to be so big, and you don't want to cut back on the harvest that you could potentially get. But I do need to trim and also poly move so then that this area so that this area can get more airflow. But to well, I want to say in each one of these I have a pepper, tomatoes in each one. All of my peppers are looking. Oh, I already have one little cayenne growing here. Very happy. Yeah, I probably need to fertilize, and I also need to water. It's been a minute, so I do need to water everything down. This area here, this is the third raised wooden bed that I have back here. I will say this one gets the most sun. So it's one where I need to be careful what I do plant. I have sunset runner beans growing up this trellis. This is a tea leaf plant, some two dwarf tomatoes right in the corners, and one jewel amethyst eggplant, which I'm very excited. I have one here and I want to say on the side of the house. So I think I have two in the garden this year. So I'm very excited because we love eggplant. We found that out last year. And I want to say this is our Megatron jalapeno here. And I've heard good things about the Megatron, so I'm very hopeful. And already I have one little guy coming out, but a good amount of flowers. So I do need to fertilize everyone and give a good drink. So that is on the to do, but very happy. What I have here, I have a dwarf tomato. The nasturtium's covering her up. But this one is a brown jalapeno, and then also another brown jalapeno. So hopefully all these little ones, oh, uh-oh. Hopefully all these little ones are not too dry. No, this one seems fine. So that's why I'm like, not every get. Are you kidding me? Get. Ay, ay, ay. On her back up. Oh, let's see if I can get back up. Okay, so here is such a nice day. It's been, can't forget this one. Here, I do need to make some changes. Need to cut back all this, but I do have a cherry bush tomato plant. Yeah, this what this is here. And yeah, she's she's more of a spreader like outwards, like with her arms. So I'm gonna have to take this one out, especially because this patio yellow choice tomato is getting big. I don't well, I don't know. I usually go with patio, dwarf, determinate ones when I put in my containers. And this one says patio, so I don't know. I don't know what kind of patios people could have, but I don't even have a patio. I just have a backyard. So I do want her to climb up. And this bush variety, that was a bad one. I shouldn't have put that there. Bad idea. But beautiful plant. Look how many tomatoes already. Oh, see, this is what I mean. The disease already. Like we are so dry that that's getting fungal things from rain or moisture and stuff doesn't really happen. At least for me last year, because like I said, we are in California. We're just known for just being the state that has no water. But I guess we've been doing great, which is awesome. But I know that's not in every area. I know people that are in other typical to get so much rain aren't right now. So I am just, I don't want to say it, but global warming. And I don't know if anyone, there's people who watch my show. I mean, my show, people who watch my channel. Um, global warming is a real thing. And I think we're seeing that right now with how much the weather has changing for all of us. Because every YouTuber, every gardener that I am watching that I know of, even in my personal life and, ones that I watch, they have all mentioned how different this weather has been. So it's something to think about, you know. But as gardeners, I feel like we just keep changing with, okay, that didn't work. Okay, next season. Okay, let me try it again. Like me, the tomatoes, I might have to pull them. The ones that I see there's a lot of disease are not going to make it. They're going to have to be pulled, and I've already started more seeds. So but on a happy note, this is my first chive blossom. I have heard people talk about these blossoms, and I'm like, how do you guys get blossoms? I always be chopping my chives. Like, I'm never gonna get one. So I don't I we use our chives a lot. But I made a purpose to not cut all of these, and I got my little beauty. I'm just gonna let her just thrive, be her single self. Hopefully I get more. I'm not going to touch this one, so maybe I'll get more chives. Flowers, they're just beautiful. I love when things go to flower though, so that's on me. So I probably would let all of them to go, all my chives. So I've started more chives in the corners of like almost all of my garden beds, and I have some right now on me that I'm going to, like, I just grabbed a bunch of these from the dollar store, so I'm just gonna just be throw them around because now it's like I want these for my flower chives, but then I want chives. So this is all the backyard. So I think that is everything that has changed from last month, or I really saw a big jump in difference of growth, or the opposite, not growing. Um, Probably from my last video that I did of a walk around tour of just what everything is has been changing or growing, thriving, not thriving. So I think that is all the areas for this month that I'm just excited. There's still things I want to put in the ground. There's still things that I need to direct sow. I need to support to really like some things I need to figure out if they're going to be pulled, like um, some of my uh, some of my tomatoes. That's if I get some tomatoes that are able to take their place, and they're still seeds right now. They're not even big enough. So we will see. We'll see how the season goes. But I'm very, very um, optimistic, very happy of how everything is looking. For a while, things were looking a little bare, and it's just so scary because I'm like, what if nothing grows? Oh my gosh, like what happens? And everything's growing. So, yeah, I don't know why I get nervous like that. I think we all do because I've heard other gardeners say that, you know, like what if you put the seeds in wrong and all the seeds don't germinate? It's like, oh my God, that's me. That's what I feel like sometimes. Like something I did wrong, and I'm not gonna have no plants. I'm not gonna have no flowers or no tomatoes. Oh my gosh, no peppers. My husband just waits all year for this. So, but thank you so much, spending some time in my garden, letting me show you everything that I have grown so far, everything that's been blooming. Hopefully, next month, even more blooms, because I feel like next month are actually going to see full size, maybe at least cherry tomatoes, because they're already on the vines. They just need to ripen. I feel like more tomatoes, more peppers. I feel like there's going to be some good, maybe even a harvest next month. But definitely, hopefully, dahlias because they're budding up. So I'm very excited. So thank you so much for hanging out with me in my garden today, as we do this April garden tour. Thanks so much. Bye.